Hi everyone. Welcome to the Automatic Wealth Academy. And today we're diving into one of the most powerful yet often overlooked financial strategies, which Charlie Munger invented. So this is Charlie Munger's advice on why reaching $100,000 is the hardest but most crucial step in wealth building. So Munger famously said, the first $100,000 is a B ... but you've got to do it. But why does he emphasize this milestone? So let's break it down and discover how reaching this number can transform your financial future. Charlie Munger believes that the first $100,000 is the most difficult yet most important financial goal because it unlocks the magic of compound interest. So this is the first and most important reason. So why? Why is this important? Well, compound interest allows your money to grow exponentially over time. So once you hit that 100K milestone, your investment begins generating returns on previous returns, creating a snowball effect. So for example, investing $10,000 at a 7% return will earn you $700 in the first year. But in the second year, you'll earn an additional 7%, not just on your original $10,000, but also on the new total of $10,700. So this cycle continues and will compound your returns. So the earlier you reach 100K, the more time your money has to multiply and grow. And that's why he says it's so important to reach that 100K milestone as soon as possible. To put it simply, compounding is like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first it's small, but as it continues to roll, it grows bigger and bigger, picking up more snow along the way. So the same thing happens with your money, okay? So once you reach that initial $100,000, the growth becomes significantly faster. Okay, so it's really important. Why is this 100K the turning point? We want to emphasize this again, even more importantly. So why is it so important? Reaching 100,000 as quickly as possible is crucial because the real power of compounding kicks in after you hit this milestone. So let's just compare two investors just to make an example and give you an idea of the effect of reaching $100,000 earlier compared to somebody else who reaches it later on. So let's consider John, for example, who reaches his 100K in 5 years, while Sarah will take 10 years to reach 100K. So after hitting 100K, both will stop adding new money and let their investments grow. So both of them will not add extra cash. After 20 years, John's portfolio will grow to $386,000, while Sarah will have reached only $275K. What's the difference? The difference is that John's money had an additional 5 more years to compound, and that made a big difference. As you can see, there's more than $100,000 difference. So the sooner you hit 100K, the faster your wealth accelerates. Think of it like planting a tree. If you plant a tree today, it will start growing immediately. But if you wait 5 to 10 years before planting it, you miss out on all those years of growth. So the same principle applies to your finances. Starting early and reaching that $100,000 faster will give your money more time to grow. So let's see now what can help you in reaching this goal as quick as possible. Many people will never reach that $100,000 because, first of all, they will fall into a trap which is called the lifestyle inflation, which is one of the biggest obstacles for people reaching this milestone. So what does it mean? Instead of saving and investing their increased income, what do people generally do? So they would upgrade their home, they'll upgrade the cars, they'll upgrade to better vacations, they'll spend more money on better looking clothes. So this constant spending and increasing in spending as your income increases will prevent them from building their savings, which will necessarily then build and help them build that compounding effect over the time. So, as Munger said, the first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. So, don't interrupt it and continue adding money and reach that 100K as soon as possible. So, if you can resist that lifestyle inflation and prioritize savings, you'll reach 100K much, much faster. Increase your income, maintain your spending and your lifestyle the same, and that extra cash will go in speeding up your process and reaching that $100,000 sooner. A common example of lifestyle inflation is when someone gets a pay raise. And immediately what they do, they start spending it. They'll buy a better car, they'll move into a bigger apartment, and they'll start maybe dining out even more. So instead of putting that extra money into savings and investments, they use that extra money to support a more expensive lifestyle, making it harder and harder to build wealth. A better approach, instead, is to keep your expenses stable even as your income starts to grow and skyrocket. If you get a pay raise, continue living on your previous budget and invest in some extra income and invest that income. Don't spend it, invest it. So this strategy accelerates your path to 100K and sets you up for long-term financial success. So what strategies can we now think of and use also to help us reach this 100,000K milestone? One of the strategies, obviously, is the easiest. Start as soon as possible. So start early. So the earlier you start beginning investing and saving money, the more you have time to compound. So that gives you lots and lots of years compared to somebody else who starts later on. Then invest consistently. Even if it's a small regular contribution, it all adds up over time. Then always reinvest your gains. Keep your profits invested instead of spending them. Okay? Increase your income. Try and seek promotions, negotiate raises, start a side hustle. All these things help you to increase your income. But remember to not spend that extra income on your new and more luxurious lifestyle. Then live frugally. Cut unnecessary expenses. Avoid overspending on housing and cars. So you can also reduce your expenses. If you see that there are some expenses which are not really necessary, sometimes you have expenses which you don't even know about and are being debited on your card monthly. So recurring expenses, recurring debits, those are the ones who eat away without even you actually even knowing about it. And most times you subscribe to something which you don't even use anymore, and you just keep on paying it just because of no time or lack of time, or life happens and things like that, and you don't have actually the time to look at these things. So budgeting also therefore will help a lot in this sense. Then use financial hacks. So a lot of things you can do, like maybe using travel points, buying used cars instead of new ones, and just generally limit non-essential expenses. So these small sacrifices, remember, will pay off exponentially in the future. They might be small, and you might think they are small, but they all add up. Okay? So one powerful strategy is to automate your savings. Okay? This is another very, very powerful strategy. Try to automate your savings. That's something which also I always advise people to do. So set up automatic transfers to your investment accounts, to your savings accounts, so that you never have to see that money that you're spending, in any case, in your spending account, let's say, where your salary or your general income would come. That account is the account where you'll have your credit cards, debit cards, or where all your debits go, where you use for your daily expenses. Try and get as much money out of that account as quickly as possible and try to automate it. Try to make it automatic so that you don't have to think about it. Every month, set aside the amount which will go to your savings account, some to investments account. Try and divide as much as possible and make it as automatic as possible. Because consider that, life is, things can happen. And you might think, don't worry, every month I'll set aside the money. I want to be able to decide month by month, according to my expenses, how much I'm going to set aside. But at the end, you might be sick that the day or that month, or you might have some problems or work problems, family problems, and then you'll forget. So the secret to doing this is most times to make it as automatic as possible so that you don't have to think about it, basically, and things are done automatically for you. Another thing to consider additionally could be like to have other side hustles. So freelancing is a very good option, selling digital products, investing in real estate, investing so many things which can be thought of and done, selling courses, affiliate programs, there's so many. So that will help you to increase your income and therefore allow you also maybe to take your foot off the brake just a little bit and maybe live not as frugally as before. Let's see now which are the benefits. There are lots of benefits of reaching the 100K, which are beyond your financial growth. Why? Because reaching 100K brings also valuable life lessons. So the first one is financial discipline, which is very important. You develop strong savings and investment habits. Having these habits take time. It's like a muscle, and you have to exercise when you go to the gym. Having financial discipline takes time and effort. Reaching that 100K will teach you a lot. Will teach you financial discipline, but it'll also teach you patience and resilience, because putting aside the money, living frugally, saving money, what does it teach you? Patience, because delaying gratification is very difficult. And that is a long-term thinking approach, which is fundamental and totally necessary in building wealth and becoming financially free. Confidence and mindset. You'll be hitting the goals, and hitting these goals will provide you different mindset, because hitting those goals will prove that you can achieve bigger financial milestones, and therefore you'll be more confident, and you'll see that once you reach that kind of capital and that kind of cash which you have in your bank account, it'll become even more and more difficult to spend it. It'll become difficult for you to spend, because once you see it growing and you see the potential, you won't be the same again. Then you'll gain market experience, because it takes many years also to learn how to invest, even in the stock exchange. Usually they say you would need at least 10 years, to understand and build up that knowledge necessary to invest. You need to navigate market fluctuations, crashes, corrections. You need to understand slowly, by investing little sums, things that can happen. And this, on the way, on your path towards that 100K milestone, are all things which you are going to learn and make you a better investor and a better person from a financial point of view. Another major benefit is the sense of security and freedom that will come with having the money saved. So when you save 100K and it's invested, you'll probably not be living paycheck to paycheck any longer. So you will have more options. You can take a bit for more risks. You could change a job or invest in new opportunities without that fear of financial ruin. You're going to have that nest of 100K, which, as I mentioned previously, Charlie Munger said, compounding must never be interrupted. So try not to use that 100K. Leave it there, let it compound, invest it. But having it there gives you that sense of confidence, which will allow you then to take other risks, or, like I said, change a job. You might have wanted to change a job in the past, which is a bit more risky, but had higher rewards if things went well. But you would have not been able to do it in the past because you were scared because you had no savings and no safety net. Now you do. Okay? So where does this journey begin? Where does the journey begin? The journey begins with a single step. Very single step. By starting. Okay? Reaching 100K might seem overwhelming, but really it starts just with small, consistent actions. Small, consistent actions. Even saving a few $100s a month gets that ball rolling. That snowball. Get it rolling. So start small, start setting aside, start making everything automatic, stay focused, avoid unnecessary spending, and invest wisely. And once you cross that 100K, your money will start working for you. And the path to wealth becomes much, much easier. Okay? So remember that, like I always say, wealth building is a marathon and not a sprint. So like I said, start small, take a step at a time, and you'll see that slowly, slowly, as in a marathon, you'll reach your financial goals. And if you can only save a little amount a month, just keep on going. Over the time, can't say it too many times, over time, the small amounts add up. And before you know it, you'll reach the 100K. So, what are the conclusions? Charlie Munger's wisdom is clear. Getting to a 100K is tough, but it's the most financially important step you can take. And once you hit that milestone, compounding does the heavy lifting for you, setting you on the path to financial freedom. So start today, okay? Obviously, this is just advice, but it's important to stay there, stay the course, be disciplined. It's tough, but like a muscle, when you go to the gym, you have to train it. You have to train it. It'll take time, it takes time, but you'll make it to 100K. And you'll see, don't worry, you'll make it. And as soon as possible, you'll be there. Okay? Thanks again.